Hello guys, hello everybody, and welcome to our webinar today. So we're going to talk about 5-minute activities, and we will talk about and discuss different questions. For example, why do we use these activities? What are they? What's the difference between activities, and so on. So first of all, I'd like to mention that my name is Julia or Yulia, and I will ask you, and I will really ask you to participate during our webinar. And if you want to ask a question, or if you want to share your ideas, you're welcome to write in a chat. So we have it here in the Zoom. You have mute or unmute yourself, then information about video, the participants, and the chat. When you click on the chat, you'll be able to write or me or to other participants. So I will mute you during the session, but you'll be able to unmute yourself while discussing and answering the questions. So let's start with you. And first of all, I'd like to share our general questions that we're going to discuss today. So here we have why do we use 5-minute activities during the lessons? Types of short activities. So we will talk about lead-ins, bridges, and warm-ups a bit, and more. So we will discuss what's the difference between activities. Can it take more than 5 minutes? And discuss different examples of these activities. So please take a picture of these questions or a screenshot, and after that I will divide you in groups, and your task will be to discuss these questions in your groups, and then we're going to discuss more and more these questions. So I'll give you a couple of minutes or 30 seconds to take a picture of it. I will also write these questions in the chat, so you'll be able to see there as well. I hope that everyone is ready. Okay, so please, you have 5 minutes for discussion, and then we're going to discuss and share your ideas together. So you can start. Back. Good. So let's look at these questions closely one more time and discuss it together. And you're going to share your ideas which you had during your discussion. So why do we use 5-minute activities during the lesson? So why do you think, guys? Any ideas are appropriate, and you are welcome to tell everything that you feel is right. Guys, you can unmute yourself. Let me try to help you. Oh. Okay, I hope that now everyone can share their ideas. So why do we use 5-minute activities? Guys, your ideas, please. Is there anybody who would like to share? Okay. Okay, so let's look at my options here. So there are some reasons why do we use it. Yeah. Oh, Ludmila wanted to tell. Okay, Ludmila, please.
Yes, we can. I can mention some reasons why we use 5-minute activities in our classrooms. First of all, to energize our students.
Okay.
Also, to switch from the native language into the English language, and the topic must be connected with the topic. Like the topic of 5-minute activity must be connected with the topic of our lesson, and to raise the curiosity of students, and also to provide feedback. And there are also other reasons why we use them.
Okay, super. Well, you mentioned a lot of them, yeah. So let's look at my reasons, but actually you are quite quite well. So to get acquainted and establish the rapport with the group, yeah. The second reason is to relax before the lesson. Sometimes, yeah. So you give the students some short activities and like you integrate them into the English-speaking environment, especially if they had other classes before English. So they need to start thinking about the topic and to start thinking in English. Yeah. One more reason is to move smoothly from one activity to another activity, because
for participants to be muted.
Yep. I just wanted you to know to share some ideas. Yeah, but let's do that. Yeah. So we've finished with you to move smoothly from one activity to another activity, especially if you want your lesson to be in one context. And you know this feeling when after the lesson, when you say, okay, that is your homework, and students are quite surprised, like, is this it? Like, it was so fast, yeah, and they didn't even understand that you did a lot of different things because it was very smooth and logically connected. So, and some of these 5-minute activities, they will help you to add this smoothness in the lesson. The next one is, well, to wait for the latecomers, yeah, especially when we talk about the beginning of the lesson and you don't want to start some quite complicated maybe activity or some really important ones, because you're gonna discuss and you're gonna explain the rules one more and a lot of times. Yeah. Also, these 5-minute activities will help you to fill a small block when the lesson is like shorter than you expected sometimes, yeah, because your students did the activities very, very fast. Yeah, sometimes it happens. And to have some extra activities in case something goes wrong or something doesn't work and so on. Now let's talk more about this activity. So what are the activities, when do we use it, and why we use them? So let's start with the first one, which is an icebreaker. So icebreakers, usually they are speaking activities, but also if you talk about young learners and teens, it's a very good idea to have a quite like physically active thing at the beginning of the lesson, maybe like to give students the chance to meet each other, to talk to each other, to get to know to each other, because very often we've got very shy people students who are really smart, but they are afraid of telling what they think because they don't know each other, or they feel uncomfortable. And these icebreakers are kind of helpers for teacher to break the ice and to let students talk and participate in the lesson. So now, guys, I will send you in the chat one link to the short video. There are 2 icebreakers, yeah, and I'd like you to watch it and to tell which one do you like. So you can write in a chat number 1 or number 2, and if you have used this or no. Yeah, so let me do that. So you're gonna see it in your chat. Yeah, do you see that in the chat? It's a YouTube video, very, very short one. Okay, super. So please watch. And first, you choose which one is better in your opinion. And the second, you tell if you've used it or you've never used it. So please, you have 2 minutes for it.
All right, we're going to play a game
So haven't used. Okay, so I see that first people answering the so we have more people that use the second activity. So Victoria likes let the wind blows. Summer camp used, good. Okay, so there are also people who use who thinks that the first one is better. Oh, yeah, I like the answer that they are perfect for big groups. Yes, of course, because especially when you ask more than two people, like saying you, or work together, it means that nobody is bored and they can work together. Yeah. So someone has already used two. Good. Okay, nice. Good. So, for small children is nice, the first one. Yeah, I agree with you. And they don't need to have a lot of vocabulary doing this. Yeah, they just say you and tell the name. Yeah. Okay, very nice. First. Okay, guys. Okay, super. So now let's look at one more activity which I personally like, and I used it a lot of time with different age of students. I call it associations, but I don't know how really it calls. So I give them such piece of paper, or even just it can be an empty piece of paper. And after that, I ask them to write their name. Let it be mine. Okay, let it be my name here. Yeah, and write some facts about the person. Very, very short one. Let it be oh my god, chocolate, and let it be cat, and I don't know, jumping with, yeah, let it be jumping with the parachute, and so on and so forth. So I start doing it on my own and ask my students to associate these words and expressions with me, and they will need to guess how all these words are connected to me. Yeah, so they started asking like, oh, so your name is Julia, do you like chocolate? And you say yes or no. And do you hate cats? Like no. Or I don't know, jumping with the parachute, have you jumped with the parachute? And so on and so on. And then you give them such piece of paper, or even ask them to write on an empty piece of paper. If it's children, yeah, if we're talking about children, they can do it in a different way. They can draw some things which are connected with them, and then they work in pairs. They discuss these words, discuss these connections. So there are a lot of benefits because I see that it works both with young learners and high-level students. Yes, and with adults as well. Yeah, so they talk to each other. Yeah, so they work in pairs, in groups, and no teacher needed, only just at the beginning to demonstrate the activity. The second one, so this is more like student-centered. The next one is they share their personal information. And when something is personalized, students remember it better and they just more involved in this activity. And well, it's quite fun, I suppose, yeah, because they are trying to guess and write some tricky things there, trying just their partner not to guess it, yeah. So these are some activities that I use for icebreakers. So when we are talking about lead-ins, again, it should be a short activity, and please write in a chat, when do we use this lead in the middle, in the end, or at the very beginning of the lesson? So your ideas. When do we use lead-ins? So we discussed icebreakers, which are mostly used at the beginning of the semester when students don't know each other. And what about lead-ins? At the beginning, I see. Maybe any other ideas? Middle, beginning? Yeah, well, I absolutely agree. After warm up. Okay, so I absolutely agree that mostly we use it at the very beginning of the lesson, but it depends on your lesson plan, because sometimes you need to revise some previous material with your students, yeah, or check your homework, and then so it should be the lead-in to go to the next part of your lesson or to go to the next topic. So here, okay, so we have that, well, a lot of books said that it's the first stage of the classroom teaching, but I agree that it can be just a bit further, not only at the very beginning of the lesson. But the main idea is to prepare students to learn and try to build this link between the previous information and to get them ready to think about the next piece of information or next topic, let's say. What I used for a lead-in with my students, again, it works with different levels, and I think and I believe that it's quite interesting for them. So if you're talking about vocabulary, for example, so I start with drawing, and their task is to guess what this. So you can write your suggestions in a chat. So what can it be? I will see it in a chat. Any ideas? What's this? What am I drawing here? Robot. Oh, nice. No, Ludmila, sorry, but it's not a robot. Chair, box, super. Okay, let's do like this. Window tray. So many, so much. Great. Hangman, hat. Okay, let me finish. Well, I'm not very good at drawing, so it might be not perfect. Cat, okay. Bottle is very close. Piece of cheese, window. Well, okay, I'm not very good. I just told you about it. It's supposed to be a jar. Oh, Victoria, yeah, you are right, yeah. So you draw a couple of these jars, for example, and ask your students, what can you put there? So what can you put in a jar? They will tell you a lot of crazy things, and then step by step, you move your students' answers to what you really need. For example, I had a topic with animals, yeah, and I asked them, like, guys, can I put a hamster in a jar? Yeah, well, maybe a quite strange question. So you can only imagine what answers my children had, and then I asked them, like, can we put there, I don't know, a tiger or a giraffe or any other animal? Well, they would say yes or no, and so on. And you said, okay, so there are 3 jars, but you should prepare a worksheet. Okay, that's gonna be this one. Sorry for my drawing. Yeah, I'm doing very fast. Okay, like this. So, and the list of words here, yeah, and you will ask your students to look at the words or at the pictures, it depends on the level of your students, and put these words in different jars. So the first one, the words, if they know the word, yeah, so they put it in the first one. If, well, they think they know, they put it in the second one. And if they have no idea or they don't know, they put it on the third jar. So actually, by using this lead-in, you ask them to move like step by step to what you need there. They are engaged again. It's not just like teacher's presentation there. So you try to elicit some words maybe from your students. And after that, they divide it between these jars. And you don't have to discuss all of the words. You just monitor and see that if, for example, the majority of your learners know the words, I don't know, frog, dog, cat, so you don't pay attention to these words again, and you should like teach more these words that students don't know. Or even you can ask them to work in pairs to find out what words their partner knows or doesn't know, and then work only with these unknown words. And if we are talking about the third, the bridge, yeah, well, I think it's one of the most complicated parts of the lesson, because sometimes it's really difficult to move really smoothly, even not from one topic to another one, but from one activity to another activity. And how I do it with my students, so I mostly ask them different questions. And by asking these questions, I just try to move smoothly from one part of the lesson to another part. Or sometimes I just take some, for example, if they did some like grammar activity, yeah, and I just look at the sentences of this grammar activity and pay attention after checking, pay attention at that sentence that I need for my next activity. And it means that, well, it becomes more or less like more smoothly than just telling, okay, now exercise number 5, yeah. So if we talk about these bridges, yeah, so it should be in context, yeah, in one context, and you should think about these bridges beforehand, because it seems that, oh, that's very easy, you know, like I just tell this and that and it will move smoothly. No, I even write some like questions for my bridges in my lesson plan, because well, when you have a lesson, first of all, it's not as easy as you might think to just come up with good question, or you can just forget about it, yeah, and well, and it would be not so smooth, for example, as you want to do that. And now, guys, I'd like to share the list of more activities. Your task is to look at it. Yes, Ludmila, do you have a question? I see you're raising your hand. Ludmila, would you like to?
No, I don't have questions.
No. Oh, okay, super. So if you have, you can, guys, and it's about it's to everyone, yeah. So you can type it in the chat. So I will share a list of my activities, and your task is to look at it. Maybe take a picture or a screenshot of these activities. They are here, yeah. So I hope that you see that there is a name of the activity, well, comments, then type of learners. It means for what learners we can use this type of activity. Maybe young learners or teens. So please look through the activities, and we're gonna discuss them. But if it's like too easy, or you know what is it about, so we can skip it and go to the most difficult ones. So please take a picture just for you to have it somewhere on the phone or on the computer in additional document. So you're gonna have 30 seconds for it. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about them in details. Yeah. Ooh. So when we talk about some abstract, yeah. When we talk about some abstract picture, yeah. What do you think it's about, and for what type of learners we can use it? You can unmute yourself now and tell me your ideas, if you want. Yeah. For teens. Okay, someone even drawn here. Okay, for teens, abstract picture. Okay, agree. But also, I suppose that we can do it for young learners if it's about drawing a jar, for example, as I started doing it there. Okay, so when we talk about associations, yeah, so that's what I asked you to. That's what I asked you to. Sorry, not ask, but that's what I shared with you. Also for teens we have. It was this activity, if you remember. Yeah, this one. I suppose if children draw, it was about this one. Remember, I wrote a name and so on. So if children can just draw short things, not even write, for example, the bar, like the bar of chocolate or milk, a glass of milk. So why not? Yeah, so we can also use it for young learners. But if we want them like to talk more, yeah, so well, probably with speaking, it's not for the lower levels. Bingo, guys, have you ever played bingo with your students? Please write, just put plus in the chat if you did it. Yes, yeah. So generally it can be connected with absolutely different, and with vocabulary and with grammar and even with functional language. Yeah. So you have some grid, you tell the word, and students have to cross it out. For teens, well, I agree that it's mostly for teens, but you can try to do that with the young learners as well. Brainstorm around the word. Teens. Well, here I absolutely agree that it's more about teenagers. Wait, guys, just a minute. So we're talking about number 4. So brainstorm around the word. For example, you write the word clothes as a lead-in, by the way, you can use it, clothes on the board, and students should tell you all words that they know, yeah, or you can even ask them to do it in pairs, like shoes, I don't know, some boots, skirt, and so on and so forth. For teens, it's easier to do, yes, because they know more, yeah, they have like wider vocabulary than young learners. But if we're talking about some kind of revision lessons for young learners, why not? Yeah, why not try it? Broken phone, and young learners and teens I have. Well, my young learners like it more than teens because, teenagers sometimes think that it's too childish, you know, but anyway, it's quite fun, and you can also practice some pronunciation, and it doesn't take a lot of time. It might take a lot of chaos in the class, yeah, but well, here your managing skills, you should practice your managing skills there. Okay, when we are talking about categories, yeah, I want to show you some of the some of the categories that I have here. It's from our 24 easy steps book. It's for step 5, so it's like first, second form. Look, it's very good even for young learners. Yeah, so here we have different categories. Yeah, like colors, clothes, and animals. Words are these that they already know or they have discussed it. They have discussed it before. So their task is just to put the words in the correct category. Yeah, so looks easy for the teacher, but it might be a bit complicated for the students, but they practice and writing and cooperative skills when if they work in pairs, and reading skills as well. So let's talk about the next one. It was controversial statements and quotes. Well, probably it's more for teenagers, where especially if it's controversial statement and they need to have some point of view and they need to be able to express this point of view. Yes, very good start for teenagers here. I'm not sure that teenagers really love doing it, like discussion, but it depends on the group and it depends on the students and even on the topic. So you can find some fun information or fun quote or the quote from their favorite, I don't know, star or football player, and they will be more involved and more interested to do that. So draw a word, guys. So young learners, super. So this is more for young learners. Good. Fact and fiction, I call it, but actually it's like true and false. Yeah. Sometimes, yes, thank you. So sometimes I use it. I cannot say that I use it very often, but I like actually this activity. So you write a couple of sentences about yourself. Students should guess, is it true or false? I usually write 3 or even 4 sentences for them to make it a bit more complicated. And I can also add some question or sentence from the topic that I really want to move forward. Yeah, so it means that after this activity, I can concentrate on this question, and it can be a good lead-in. And again, it's personalized. Students really like to know more about their teacher, and they really love sharing their information. Fill the object. Guys, if you use it, you can put you can put plus in a chat. So that's when you put some objects in some bag or something, or a box. So you ask your students to put your hand there. Don't take the object, but just touch it and try to guess what is this. I did it with my young learners when we were talking about classroom and like pens and pencils. So it was quite easy, or marker, or so it was quite easy for them to guess. And find someone who, well, I suppose that a lot of us did this activity. It can be done, so it can be done in different ways and variations. You can ask your students to write their own questions in the topic that you're discussing. You can ask them you can give them actually the words that you want to use them. For example, from step number 6, I took this game. So here we have different pictures. It's the students discussed. It was some activities like go shopping, go fishing, cooking, and so on and so forth. So here they have some hints, or they have this vocabulary that they have to use. So they will need to ask like, can you, and name the activity and write the name of their partners. You can even give them everything if you think that your students are quite weak, or even some of them are quite weak. So you can write the question for them at the very beginning. For example, I cannot do. Okay, so like ask your partner, can you, and give examples. So it would be easier for them to make up a question. So it depends, yeah. Or if you see that you have like fast students and quite slow students, so you can change the activity. So for fast students, you can leave some space for them to write their own questions, and for weaker ones, just write the question and ask them to read, and to ask their partner just to write the name of the partner. Let's go to the next one. We have guessing game. Yeah, guessing game. Well, it's a short activity again. You say that, okay, I'm thinking about some food item. Yeah, so guess, what is this? And your students start asking question, is it tomato? I don't know, is it some sugar? And so on and so forth. And then you go to, so it's a short one, and then you go to the topics that you need, yeah, and they are already involved. You've got their attention there. Jumbled sentences, so here we have, and young learners and teens, I absolutely agree with you. Jumbled sentences or words, please put 2 stars, yeah, for young learners and for teens, because it's appropriate for both of them. Probably sentences are mostly for teenagers and words are for young learners. And I tried it in my previous semester, and students love it. First, it was very difficult, well, to understand, like, what is the word, but when they did, or I helped them with the first one, it was like a piece of cake for them. They did it very fast, and they really love this activity. Again, it's even less than 5 minutes. And you can move smoothly to the next topic that you want, or it can be a lead-in to your topic as well. Well, likes and dislikes. Again, there are a super lot of this type of activities that we have. For example, I choose a couple of them from our books, and here we have, so here, yeah, for step number 5, yeah, I have mostly step 5 and 6 because I've just told them. So here, students or children have to draw themselves and 2 things that they like. Yeah, again, after that, they talk to each other and share their ideas. You can do it in a different way. You can ask them to write, my name is, and where they have tick. So they write everything that they like and cross everything that they don't like. Or it can be even like this. So you have a list of words that you want them to use. So we have and the picture and the word, and they should write like, I like, not just the words, yeah, but I like, I don't know, playing football, yeah, or I don't like fishing. So again, there are a lot of different variation of this likes and dislikes game. And again, personalized, yeah, so students love it, yeah, and they like sharing. Even if they don't have a lot of hobbies, they would have at least 1 or 2 that they like, and they can talk something that they don't like. For example, school, yeah, almost all of them write like, I don't like school, yeah, or I like, I don't know, quarantine or something like that. Okay, let's go forward. So here we have miming. Well, miming game, again, it can be, and for young learners, we can use it for young learners and for teens. For young learners, I give them a picture. So I put all of the pictures on the table face down. I ask one person to come to the board to take the picture, well, not to show it to anybody, and try to mime it. So others should guess it. with teens, I can do the same, but well, it might be too easy for them. So I ask them to mime some phrasal verbs sometimes and sentences. Well, sentence is quite difficult, yeah. So you should look at the level of your students, yeah, because it might be demotivating. Amendams. Who have used it? Who has used it with amendams? Let me see. Oh, Tatiana, yeah. So, good. So these people who used it, put plus if your students liked it and minus if your student disliked it. So what it means, I just take some pack of M&Ms, these candies. I ask my students to take as many as they want. Well, they usually try to take more than like more and more. And then I said, okay, so if you have a green one, yeah, you should tell about your hobby. If you have red one, you tell about, I don't know, something that you like, yeah? Blue, don't like. Brown, something else, yeah? And then they realize that as many as they have, so as much sentence, like as many sentences they should say, yeah? Here they started to like sharing with each other and suggest like to change maybe, yeah? But in this case, they share their personal information again. You can combine it with true, false if you have so much time, yeah, during the lesson. And well, when they say the sentence, they can eat it, yeah. But well, be careful here, because once I did it with my adults, and some of the girls said that they are allergic to chocolate. And thanks God that in the teacher's room I had some biscuits, so I just suggested them to take a biscuit, because I haven't thought about it beforehand. And with children, you should be careful, yeah. So you can take something else, not M&Ms, but I don't know, some colorful pieces of paper, or some stickers if your school gives you some stickers, or even what, or even paper clips, yeah, with different colors. So as you wish. So we have teens. Teens. Well, I should agree with you. Maybe young learners as well. Well, I've never done it with my young learners, yeah. So it's up to you to use it or not. But with teens, it works quite well. So odd one out, yeah. It can be pictures. Biscuit zoo. Oh, by the way, yeah, Olena said it out right, that biscuit zoo with all the animals, yeah. We have different suggestions. Oh, online templates for M&M's question. Well, super, you see, so sharing is given, I don't know, is super powerful, yeah, because we have a lot of different ideas and we can support and give more ideas to each other. So we started, paper clips. Okay, so odd one out. I told you that for young learners, it can be only with the pictures or with the cards with the pictures. And we talk about teens, so it can be some words or even more difficult, like nouns, verbs, adjectives, so different parts of the speech. And even on pronunciation, we can have such kind of activities. So you just write some words which have the same sound and one word which is different, yeah, if you really want to work on their pronunciation or revise previous class, or some previous like words from the previous class, and have a short activity, yeah, not boring, and well, it meets your students' needs. Simon says we have pre-last one. Well, mostly for young learners, probably, especially if you talk about some dynamic verbs, if you learn about parts of the body, So Simon says, touch your nose, and so on. For teens, well, I've never tried it for teens, but I suppose it depends on the group. Yeah, so if your students love your ideas and are ready to support you and are ready to participate, so you can use it. And the last one, we're talking about tongue twisters. Yeah, so you can use it and for young learners and for teens as well. So all of these activities, all of them can be used as lead-in activities. If you go from this activity to the topic that you need, they can be used as a warm-up activities as well, and as short bridge activities. Well, some of them, I suppose, can be good for icebreakers as well. For example, these associations for icebreakers, fact and fiction, when we talk about true, false sentences where your students have to guess some information. Likes and dislikes, again, they can be used for icebreakers there. So what I wanted to tell you is that all of them can be applicable for different short stages of your lessons, and almost all of them are quite good for young learners and for teenagers. But you should know your group, and probably after, I don't know, maybe 5-6 lessons, we know what goes better with our students and what works worse with them. Yeah, and don't be afraid to try different activities with them, and practice and modify some that you have already used. Where can you find more of these activities? So just a sec. So, this one. So there are a lot of good activities in the book, which calls Learning Teaching. That's from Jim Scrivener. 700 classroom activities, 5-minute activities, and we have 5-minute activities for teens and young learners as well. Yeah. Then we have Oh No, Not Hangman Again. So a manual for games for English language classrooms. So some movie segments, and one which I believe maybe is the most important one, yeah, when you borrow from your colleagues' observed lessons, yeah, because when you read it, you cannot understand maybe it's properly, yeah, but when you see your colleague is teaching, is using it, and after that you will know better how to use it. And a lot of such type of activities you can find in our books, which are 24 easy steps, and you can go to the website and look for that there. If you have some questions, I'll be super happy to answer your questions. So please write it in the chat. Maybe I missed something. Maybe you wanted to ask it at the very beginning and just forget to type. So please. So Anna asks, so are these bridge activities? Yeah, I told you that can be used for different stages, and bridge and lead-ins and warm-ups. Yeah. So you should just choose which one should be used there. So yeah, thank you for taking part, for sharing your ideas, for writing and helping me, yeah, because I got also some new ideas from you. So good luck with your teaching, yeah, because teaching is working very hard, yeah. So we should be motivated to motivate our students. So good luck with it. And yeah, explain the jumble sentence activity one more time. Yeah, Anna, so here you have a sentence where words are in the wrong order. Yeah, so this is a jumbled activity. Or you can put one word, but letters are mixed. Yeah, and your students should put the words or put the letters in the correct order. You're gonna have a word, for example, I don't know, I just think about animals today. Let it be tiger, yeah? And then, okay, like, have you ever seen tiger? Yes, no. What animals have you seen? And then you go to your topic, if it's about animals, but any other animal is applicable, yeah, here. Okay, so thank you very much again. Have a nice lesson with your students, and good luck. So bye-bye, guys.